What's up, guys? Back in today with more Let's Play, this time with episode 9. We had a bit of a fashion shoot, I believe, last episode, as well as looking after martial law a little bit. That was an alright episode. Wasn't anything great, to be honest with you. As you guys know, a lot of my favourite parts of this series are like the cheesy kind of bad moments, but didn't get too many of those last episode, so... Right, this is now quite funny because I literally just read a story about a woman who, she's married and her husband just found out that all the money he's been giving her, $94,000, been going to some random streamer. That's crazy. That's crazy work, that is. Like 94,000. I can understand if it was maybe even 1,000 seems bad, but like $100, like, yeah, that's all right. But what warrants sending that much money? Also, how much money must that streamer be getting if that's just off one person? Didn't really look into it too much, but yeah, crazy work. I think that is grounds for divorce, honestly. Yeah, you'll be glad to know. I think I did mention this last week. I finished Dark Souls. Really good. Honestly, the ending boss wasn't too bad. The DLC before him was definitely the hardest part of the game, in my opinion. I think it's Artorias and Manus. I think both of them. Well, you know what? I'm not sure which one of those two I struggled with more. The dragon was alright. Camley, I think his name was. But I don't know. I think I struggled kind of equally. I think Artorias was a bit easier to, like, it probably was a bit easier, but initially it was a struggle, but that kind of prepared me for the final boss, if that makes sense. So the final boss wasn't as much of a struggle because I already had a bit of experience with kind of faster move sets. But yeah, really good game. Really enjoyed it. It wasn't actually that tough. I would say the hardest thing in general in that game, the thing I died most to, which might sound crazy, was the gargoyles. Which probably seems crazy for people, but like first time playing a game like that, I probably died like 30, 40 times. Because I didn't have any idea what like slow rolling was, so I was max weight, moving super slowly. And yeah, I just didn't have any idea about what things were. Also, I didn't upgrade any of my weapons. I was just using base long sword, I think it was. Yeah, that fight was hell for me. That was the hardest part of the game. Let's replay. Not quite the title of the show. But yeah, after that learning curve, everything was like easier. I was like, oh, I get it. Dodge, be patient. I like a patient game, to be honest. I'm a huge survival horror fan, so I'm quite good with patience. I'm that type of guy that usually hoards every item, which is the same in Dark Souls, to be honest. Hoard every item and never use them. Preparing to use them later, but it don't actually ever happens. Ah, so we got a Sekai into this world, did we? That's how this game functions. Hey, what are you flipping them off for? Man, that's a Boji weapon right there. Only you guys to see no Sama ranking. Yeah, after that boss, I farmed for hours. The boulder side sword, and that carried me out throughout the whole game. That was a really good weapon. Has this really quick little stab when you dodge. It has this like insta stab, which is really useful. Totally just a letter opener. Damn, so they let you know you get scammed right off the bat. Shenanigans. He did not say that. Shenanigans. What? What kind of translation is that? I think in Japanese that means something like "don't piss me off" or something. Shenanigans? What the fuck? How'd you get that out of that word? I mentioned this in a few of the anime I'm watching this season. There's been a few dodgy subtitles, more than usual. Usually it's one anime, and like I'd say maybe one anime every other season is like got some dodgy subtitles. But this season there's been like at least 3 that have been noticeably very dodgy with their subtitles. I mean, allegedly, can't help but feel there's AI involvement coming through. Or just like less effort. Or some need to change things for the worse, I don't know. But it's extra strange because it's not every subtitle. Most of the time this seems pretty accurate. And then it comes out with something like that. Which is better, I think. Prefer it to mostly be okay than have these weirder moments, then it will be crap, like Medalist, for example, or Dead Demons, DDD Destruction. Both those subtitles of those shows are absolutely awful. You can find some good fan subtitles though. Also, how you want to look at yourself. I don't know about you guys, but I don't buy clothes for people. Mate, I will say I probably did used to when I was a teenager. To think, oh, is this in fashion or people like this? But when you grow into an adult, it should be, well, I like buy the clothes because I like them. I mean, in the business world, I guess it is, as he says here. You got to play a certain part. You got to look a certain way, act in a certain fashion. Power pose. A pose? Really? That's bullshit. That's surely that's bullshit. So you're telling me if I just stand like this for half an hour a day, that'll make me more healthy? There's no way that's true. I should know because I did study anatomy and exercise sciences and such, so I should know. But I don't. But I can almost guarantee that's not true. Maybe it might like subconsciously affect your mindset, which may affect your internal systems. I don't know. But that can't be like, there can't be a scientific study on that. But the power of what's it called? Getting gaslit. I can't remember the word for it. Yeah, getting gaslit, it sure is a powerful thing. If you're able to think a certain way. Placebo, that's the one. Placebo. That's a powerful thing. I did study that, and that actually is like, yeah. I done a study on certain tests of sprints, taking performance enhanced, not performance enhancing drugs, but like supplements. And the test was the normal results, and then the placebo results were better by, I think, I think the results with the supplements were better than the sprint normally, and then the people on placebos done better than the ones without the supplements, but didn't quite get to the level of the people that done the supplements. So it certainly does have an effect. So again, with what you said there, maybe it would increase that if you believe hard enough. Gonna eat him, isn't she? Oh my god. I love how they're like barely moving. The camera's moving faster. Yeah, she's gonna eat him. Well, no wonder people hate your game. Everyone's just getting betrayed. Your whole game is fucking bamboozling people, and I bet that doesn't feel good. Pegboard? What's a pegboard? Never seen that. Is that a real thing? I do just want to look this up quickly. How does that contraption work? Oh, with those holes? Never seen one of these in my life. I assumed they were all like things you could grab. I was like, how does he stand? Like, surely that would just like impale you. But I guess you put them in the holes. Not awfully big, is it? But yeah, I guess you need to push them in and then push the other one in, almost like ice climbing. Okay. So how the hell does that contraption function? To be honest with you, I don't know about you guys, but it did seem Sam and Marshall Law, like, I did initially think they would be the main love interests for each other, and that wasn't the case, but I think that might end up being the case. And if that is the case, I feel like this redhead girl and lion guy right here are probably going to be going out just purely based off scenes like this and the interactions they've had before. Which I'm not really sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just making stuff up there, but there's been like a few strange interactions between these two. Really? Really? Just stop touching her, bro. I've been saying this. Stop fucking touching her. He didn't learn his lesson at all, did he? Beat the shit out of him. Yeah, kill him. Just like Mr. Back. All it took. No more fear in our life now. That's all it took. Jesus Christ. The show is just so heavy-handed with stuff like this, isn't it? Like no subtlety whatsoever. Which isn't always bad. Not everything has to be like subtle and like small messages and things that you got to look hard for and stuff. But yeah. Seems to draw quite a few emotions out of a few people, doesn't he? Me as well, me included. Rage. Cringe. Funny. Is it a healthy one? Worship. I don't know about you guys, I'm not a fan of that word. To worship. Now, who says that? Who talks like that? I do get wrong. I've known plenty of women that think the same, but never heard them say it like that. Like I said, everything's just like so easily understood. If you know what I'm saying. Like that might sound like a good thing, but like it's just like no real human talks like that. She's just explaining her whole thought process in a perfect way. Humans don't do that. But as I said earlier, like I could understand why I didn't like this game. But if I was getting fucked over and betrayed, why is this guy in this game? Yeah, if I'm just constantly getting fucked over like this and like losing my money for crap objects and every character trying to betray me. Yeah. I understand. Like every character you're gonna come into contact with is gonna try and betray you, bro. Quite a shit game so far. Maybe I was wrong about saying all that stuff in the early episodes. Maybe he was right. Maybe martial law was right about this game. And that subtitle as well. It literally says Sammy. How do you mistranslate Sammy? Sammy. Sam. It's so easy. Why change that? It's so foreign to me. Like, why? What's the need? You don't have to be a translator to understand what she said. My God, fucking kiddo. In and out, out and in. I don't think we have these in the UK. Sure, the big one for me was that we don't have in the UK. White Castle, is it? I think it's like the Harold and Kumar movies. I used to love a stoner movie back in the day. How High, Harold and Kumar. Oh, there was a really fun one with Dave Chappelle in. That was probably my favourite, but I can't remember the name of it. This really funny scene of a flying dog, but it was literally just like a dog on a crappy green screen. Me and my friend just laughed for ages on that. And all that. I do like this Monica girl though. She's probably becoming one of my favourite characters, I'd say. She is actually like quite realistic, I think. She is actually like a quite subtle, good character. Worship. Oh, round Ghost Girl. Her. Sam herself. The tiny sword. Gonna take about 1,000 hits, but the game betrays you every second, scams you, gives you no save points, and it doesn't even give you a mechanism to fight back. What is this? No tutorial? Was this the woman that was having sex with someone in his house? That's not how ghosting works, lady. He would have replied. So who the fuck was that? I mean, we had a weird segment with him the other day. Like, who the fuck's this? Yeah, the other day when someone was like having sex in his house and he was in like the kitchen or something. Weird. What? Can you imagine? You imagine texting someone that and getting back why? Fucking hell. I would reply if I was a well, fuck you. Fucking why? Was that him catching her cheating? Like what was that? I assumed it was like something from his past, but I guess it was like 2 weeks ago she was shagging someone else in his room. She looks pretty fancy, doesn't she? And yeah, you know what? Quite interesting that, isn't it? Why is it in English? The texts are in English. I love how we're also subtitling the text. We're subtitling the English texts. This is the shit that makes me think this is AI. Why are we subtitling English texts? Allegedly, I'll say. Just baffling. But what does that say about you? That was in the past, okay. Yeah, what does that say about you? Easy to take advantage of. The business side of him doesn't seem like it'd be easy to take advantage of whatsoever. Also, I've got to say, he looks quite a bit cooler away from work, doesn't he? He actually looks quite chill. Not as much of a stick up his ass. But yeah, again, what does that say about him? It says easy to manipulate, easy to use. Maybe he's not a great person. I mean, he sexually harassed Sam at work, so and he put a lot of pressure on someone that works under him. So yeah. But as I keep saying, I feel like Ruminate, maybe it does kind of suck. What redeeming qualities have we seen from that game so far? I mean, it's certainly different. Again, I literally mentioned Dark Souls. I've played like games that are unfair. I'd say probably the most unfair. I mean, a lot of games from like the 2000s, you didn't have the internet, and that was a time where there was no yellow paint to tell you where to go. So a lot of the time you would just be like aimlessly wandering. I think that was a draw of a lot of those games, to be honest with you, because you would fully explore everything and look further and spend more time in the game. That has its positives and negatives, but on that point, it was sometimes like Silent Hill games or like Resident Evil 0 specifically. You could like majorly fuck up by making like a wrong choice, or picking up an item that fucks you over or something, for example. I'd say one of the most unfair I've played is probably Resident Evil 7. What's it called? What's the bloody main character's name? I forget. Not Joe Must Die, but the special mode in Resident Evil 7 where it's like there's loads of traps. That took me fucking ages and so many runs through to beat that. I remember one run I literally died on the door to the boss, which is a tough part. There's like 3 bombs like on the door to the last boss, and I died there. That was like my 60th attempt, and I was ready to fucking crash out and give up. But this game feels like it would be quite similar to that. I'm forgetting the name of it. But yeah, it's just like betrayal, scams you for your money, no tutorial, no saves, no indication of where to go or what to do. Like, what's the objective? Is it just slice of life fucking fantasy shit? Like, it's generic, there's nothing good about the game so far. Maybe it deserves that review, to be honest with you, from what we've seen. There must be some kind of redeeming qualities though, as we see our boss about to play it right here. Maybe we might encounter him in the game. Is it like a MMO? Is it like a online game where people can like join in and help? Or do you reckon that's what's going to happen? He's going to like join the server and going to help martial law out or something? Or is it like solo? Like, fucking who knows? It just says start game here, doesn't it? Yeah, it's literally, you get 2 options. You don't even get to continue. Is this his first time playing? Or is there just like you have to start a new game? Is it like a roguelite? I've mentioned this before on the channel as well. I'm yapping a bit here, so apologies. But when I had my PlayStation 2, this sounds so stupid, but I had memory cards, but I never used them because I never realized, I never put 2 and 2 together. It sounds so stupid. But I never put 2 and 2 together that's where I'd be saving the games. I'd have to plug in a memory card to save the games. I just assumed that every game I'd have to just start over from the beginning. And if I wanted to finish a game, I'd have to do it in one sitting. As the next time I'd turn my PlayStation on, I'd have to start the game over again. But yeah, every game I played, I started right from the beginning. Which had its own kind of charm to it, I guess. But there were some games I just absolutely would never complete. And this seems like it's got that function, but you actually just can't save either. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought this episode. It was a decent one. Some funny moments in here for sure. The gym segment was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, just in a ironic kind of way. It's just like, it's so, that whole scene was just like, that was not a human scene. That was a scene to progress things in such an engineered, strange way, in my opinion. Wasn't a fan of it. It did have some funny moments, but yeah, strange. Let me know what you guys think about this episode though. Let me know what you guys think about the subtitle situation as well. Like I said, it's just so weird. Like, subtitling, like if they actually watched the scene, surely you would come to the conclusion of, oh, you know what, we don't need to subtitle this because it's in English anyway. And it was originally in English, because if it's not originally in English, they usually put like the subtitles on top of the Japanese dialogue. This was actually just in English. And as I said, if one watch through this episode, 20-minute watch through like we just done here, will tell you that, you know what, if you, I'm not sure how these meetings go, or whatever, but I'd be saying if I was in a meeting, we can leave this part out of the subtitles. We could not subtitle this. I doubt they even have meetings for subtitles. It's probably just like left for the last minute, judging by how it's been this season. Like, what goes through your head to be like, yeah, you know what, we need to put English subtitles over the English text, and then change. And like earlier in the episode, change the most simple Fuzu Kenna. You guys have heard that before if you watch a bit of anime. Fuzu Kenna. So it's something like that. And you guys know that's something you say when you're like pissed off, or like you say, "Don't piss me off, don't make me mad." It's like along the lines of that. What about that says bamboozled? Like what? was it bamboozled? I feel like it wasn't even bamboozled. I feel it was worse than bamboozled. Where was it? It wasn't bamboozled. Would have been kind of alright. Shenanigans. We said Sammy later in the episode. Kiddo? How did you get Kiddo from Sammy? Sorry to complain so much, but as I said, I've just noticed this season there's just so many shows that have been having strange, bad subtitles in small areas. Like, for the most part, the episode seems alright, but just these small little inconsistencies really stand out as very strange, because usually they're actually like the most easy to understand, most English kind of parts. So I don't know, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date, and I'll catch you next week with episode 10.